Welcome to In the Know with Steph and Joe. In the Know with Steph and Joe is all about small business development. These two entrepreneurs bring real life experience, laughter, and, well, just a ton of knowledge on how to build your small business and make it thrive. After all, this is your creation. Now learn how to make it sing. In the Know with Steph and Joe airs Fridays at 3 p.m. right here on 216 The Net. Like, follow Steph's books and Restoration One of Cary, along with 216 The Net on Facebook, and subscribe to the 216 The Net YouTube channel. That was perfect, right? Look at it. It came up right when we said it.
Oh, dang. I'm going away.
Yeah, we got the Restoration One sign up there. We've got Rudy, the Resto Elf, up there hanging out in Uncle Pete's pocket. Today, all about consultants with special guest Sam Hammer.
So before we dive into the show,
Yes.
Sam, I referred to you as Sam the Hammer. And when I was talking to Kent about this show, and he's like, "Hey, I got a guest for you. It's Sam Hammer." And I went, "Sam the Hammer?" And so I just because I nicknamed you that right away. And then I went and tried to Google you, and come to find out, great stage name. You should have been like a
That's right.
porn star or something like that. Yeah, truly.
Like a hockey puck.
But second, did you know there is a Sam Hammer, the surfer?
No.
He is apparently a world-renowned surfer and was known in the X Games. You should look him up. And I just went to go Google you, and that's all I could find was Sam Hammer, the surfer.
Good, then it worked.
I'm undercover. All right, let's get into this event. Sam, where are you from? What do you do? Please introduce yourself to the crowd.
Well, my name is Sam. I'm in St. Charles, so not that far away from here, obviously.
Right.
And what I do is I help, mainly I focus on sales team leaders and managers to scale their teams and their sales through their leadership training and through sales training. So I have found that most of the problems in sales teams or industries, i.e. insurance, real estate, comes down to the leader or the manager itself. So I'm trying to teach Michael Jordan how to be a coach, per se.
Instead of teaching Michael Jordan how to dunk.
Exactly.
Or having Michael Jordan teach people how to dunk. He's got to teach people how to dunk. So
right.
He's really got to be a teacher.
Exactly. He's got to be a coach.
He's
got to be a coach, and he's got to be a teacher. A lot of people, you know, the best salespeople don't always, or the best doers. If you go back to the book, the E-Myth, right? There's the doer, there's the manager, and there's the entrepreneur. The best doers don't necessarily make the best managers or leaders.
Totally.
So that's what I focus on is helping those guys build businesses through leadership and through sales training.
Hey, Derek, how's it going, man?
Derek says hello, Sam. Derek, thanks for thinking of me.
That's amazing. So, Sam, in the realm of your world, I'm going to relate this to maybe some of our listeners because I always say the business is a machine, right? We talked about this in the green room before the show. It was, hey, there's a hopper or a funnel, and it feeds my orange balls down into a conveyor belt with pistons and gears and gadgets and doodads and whistles above it, and out pops my orange widget, right?
Gotcha.
You are in essentially focused on what you're saying, the hopper, and as you pointed out to me in the green room, also the conveyor belt, because you're allowing that larger amount of business to come through with that little bit of touching on the machine, because you got to make sure the machine can always handle
correct
the volume that you might be bringing in with now your bigger hopper and larger conveyor belt.
Yeah, we always everyone knows about the bottleneck. You know,
the hopper.
the hopper.
Josh throws it in the hopper.
we all know about the bottleneck, right? On
Right.
any kind of conveyor belt, any kind of lead system, any kind of whatever business. If you don't have a leader or a manager that can train a team, or that can help his team deal with the amount of inflow, right? Leads, whatever it may be,
Right.
then they can't scale. He can't duplicate himself,
Right.
and you're going to be stuck being the player instead of the coach.
Or vice versa.
Yes.
You scale the machine, and you're ready for all this business,
Exactly.
and you don't have anything in the hoppa, as my wife and Josh are pointing out, the hoppa, and you're not like you don't have anything in there to flow down the machine, right? Like
that's correct.
So it's really about that balance, right?
It definitely is. Yeah, it's a delicate balance, and I've seen people mess it up a lot, and I've seen people be successful at it. We all have. And if you can get both those parts, your conveyor belt and the funnel, the hoppa put together,
we're gonna ruin so many trademarks on that from what was it, Comcast? Like we're just destroying.
It's yeah. Well, it was the last time you saw that commercial. Trademarks be gone.
Probably fair.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it should be.
If you get those two in balance and in sync, then then you can really truly scale any company, because every company has salespeople.
It doesn't matter what the business is.
It doesn't matter what the ball is, what color it is, what it's.
Love that.
Doesn't matter.
Said that, right?
It doesn't matter what the product or the service is. You have salespeople. You need clients. You need to service the clients. You need to give them a product, whatever it may be. The machine is the machine is the machine.
Love that.
So
and like in my mind, it's an orange ball that plops out an orange widget, right? Like, but it could be some green or you like turquoise.
I am a purple and turquoise fan.
There you go. See, like yours is a purple and turquoise, widget ball that pops out a purple and turquoise widget, right? Like, love the idea that you're like, hey, it doesn't matter what color the machine is the machine, and it's just about processing that. So, please tell everybody, because you didn't give it in the beginning, and I want to make sure that we get it out first thing. Please tell everybody how they can get a hold of you. So don't give your cell phone number. God, I hate when people do that.
That was the first thing I was going to do. That and a personal email. I wanted to totally get that out. You ruined the whole thing. Yeah. Damn
Don't give out your personal.
My business hours.
I just
midnight to 3 a.m.
Can't. Like when people give out their personal cell, I'm like, ugh, really?
But I do have a question. If my personal cell phone number is a 900 number, does that count?
Does a lady that talks in a deep voice answer? If so,
thanks for calling.
It's okay. Yeah, I'll let it slide and give it out so I can write it down slowly, so I can write it
down. 9. So if we want to talk, and because my sites right now are going through, this is last minute, are going through a repair. If you want to get on a call and kind of have a discussion about your team, whatever it may be, go to aligned4coaching.com, the number 4, aligned4coaching.com. And if you want to get on Facebook and get part of the group, then it's just scalableleadershipgroup.com.
Love that.
So those are the two.
Aligned4coaching.com, is that right?
Make sure that's right.
Oh my gosh.
Coaching.com.
Perfect. And then what was the other one?
Scalableleadershipgroup.com. And that goes right to a Facebook group that you jump in and get, free stuff, including the free copy.
Scalableleadership.com.
Can you spell that, Ken?
Yeah, I don't know if you can. So
is it EA?
A. I told you.
.com?
Yeah.
We need to work on your machine.
Yeah. And if you jump in on that group on Facebook, you can get a free copy of the ebook that I have. So,
awesome!
Which is this one right here.
Yeah, there you go. Zoom, get it in there.
All the way up there.
I mean,
there you go.
There you go. Yeah.
So, those are the two places to hit me up right now.
So you have a process. You walk in, you see the business model. Derek mentioned here, he talked about so many businesses are clogged because they don't have the clarity someone like Sam can bring to a process, right? So you walk in, you note the bottlenecks, if you will, right? And is it, well, no, we'll get to that later. How do you approach those people that are in charge to say, hey, this is the bottleneck, it's you, you need to change, and this is the change you need to make? Do you have a process for walking them through that? And you don't need to spill your secret sauce, right? Like, we want whatever you have that's entrepreneurial, you want to keep to yourself, right?
That's fine.
I want you to make money still.
Listen, there's no secret sauce to a lot of this stuff in consulting.
Love that.
There isn't. And I hate in the green room again. I don't want to go to bumper stickers, but a lot of times it's just, you don't know what you don't know, right? A lot of these people just don't know what they don't know, and they need a fresh perspective. And when you give them a fresh perspective, a lot of times it's most of the people are already at a certain stage. The light bulb will go on at some point. All you have to do is point where the light bulb needs to be aimed at, and it'll pop on. So I come in there and just go, I have a process of asking certain questions to illuminate the playing field, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then go, all right, well, this over here probably needs to be dealt with. This over here probably needs to be dealt with. Which one do you want to tackle first? Here's my suggestions. I can't make anyone do anything, but I can suggest the hell out of stuff.
So what you're going in and essentially you're turning on the lights to the hopper, the conveyor belt, and the machine, right? You're turning on the lights and showing the entire system and going, hey, here's where everything's backed up. Let's adjust this. And here's how I suggest you adjust it based on every other business.
Yeah, and I'm also sitting here going, where do you want to be so, like, where do you see this going? We can't build for, a local business, right? And keep it a local business if you want to go nationwide. If you don't want to go nationwide, great. I don't care. Whatever.
What do you want to do?
Right. Where do you want to be?
Right.
This is what we need to do. Because my whole thing is, let's scale this. And it starts with leadership. It starts with management, and then it goes into sales.
I love that you said that, because you may walk into a business and they may say, hey, I'm beating my head against the chalkboard every day and I feel like I'm doing it. But then you walk in and go, all right, where do you want to go? And they go, I want to be right here.
Right.
Essentially, right? They may not say it outright, but they may basically say, hey, I want to be right here. And you go, oh, well, I'm not going to help you.
There's a brick wall. Go hit it harder.
Here's the chalkboard.
Yeah, I mean,
bang away.
I can't tell you how many times I've run across business owners or team leads or whatever position it is of leadership that go, oh, I'm good if I could just get a little bit more. It's like 10%, right? 20%. Like, you can do that in your sleep. 10%, 20%. Like, that's nothing special, right?
Could I as a business owner?
Yes, you could.
Well,
I think 20%, 10 to 20% is nothing more than raising your prices.
Maybe. Well,
I mean, seriously,
that really could be.
But
sometimes it really takes. So, okay, just to be devil's advocate on that.
Go ahead.
You tell me to raise my prices, I'm going to be like, well, as a contractor, all my people love me, and they love me because my prices are low, and I'm going to lose people and blah, 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 and I don't know if I can sell it, and I just can't sell that price increase. And so you're going to tell me I have to raise my prices instead of selling a $1,000 job. Now I have to sell a $1,100 job. And I just don't think I can do that. And I'm going to go in and I'm going to choke and
yeah.
So now you got to help me as a business owner, right? So it's not just as easy as, in my mind, to some people and business owners, it's not just as easy as raising your price.
No, and that's just an example, obviously, right? There's always going to be one thing. There's always going to be one thing that you can increase 10% or whatever it may be. That's very simple, very easy to do.
Make that change.
Yeah, like I'll give you an example, right? I had a lady that was in insurance, and we had very crappy leads. Okay, they weren't that great. I've had people that have had 100 leads that get one sale out of them. I had a girl that I trained how to do referrals really well. She took 10 leads and got 96 sales within 2 weeks from it. Because of the way she squeeze every little drop out of those
Mhm.
leads.
Learn to market, sell, close.
Right.
The whole
Referral,
process.
referral, like the whole 9 yards. So just doing that one little tweak, how much X% did that change that?
Absolutely.
That's not doing anything more. I mean, you're still going to be contacting the same amount of people, 96, 100. Right.
It's just a matter of that small change. Hey,
How did you approach it?
The minor difference in sales that we can make, and we can go and do that, make that big change. So you see yourself making those changes. Do you have a process that you follow that you feel, well, do you have a process that you follow that you can plug many people into, or do you find that you have to adjust each process per person, per company, whatever, right? Like, again.
Yeah. So yes and no.
Okay.
Yes, there's a process that you can plug anyone into.
Right.
No, because that's consulting. Does that make sense? Like that's the whole point of consulting and not getting a course or something.
You probably pointed this out maybe from the beginning, was you're like, hey, you may not want to go to a $5 million company. You may want to stay at $1 million company.
Right.
That's different process that I'm going to consult you with.
Exactly.
Okay.
Like there's always a framework, quote unquote framework, that you're going to plug somebody into, right? It's going to be your process of scaling or doing whatever it may be as a consultant. But along the way, my job is to be the Sherpa and go, watch out for that hole right there. There's 3 dead guys there that are frozen because they didn't listen.
Right.
Don't fall off the cliff.
So
it's the same path.
Yeah.
So with every
Very good.
business,
That's a great point.
with every business, you're going to bake the cake the same way,
Right.
But you have different ingredients at every business.
Exactly.
Do I want to make a pecan,
Right.
nut pie, or a
Pecan.
I can't believe you laughed at that.
Are you a pecan or a pecan?
Are you a pecan or a pecan?
So yeah, like you're still taking the same route up Mount Everest, but it's a matter of like, are you going to listen? And where's the ladder? Where's this? Where's that? That's why you have a Sherpa. That's why you have a Sherpa.
I know how to climb mountains. I don't know how to the
survive.
Path. I don't know the path up Mount Everest.
Even
the Sherpa is there to guide me up the path.
So Luke Skywalker had the ability, but Yoda had to show him how to use
exactly.
it.
Right.
There it is. Right, like consultants. Okay. So can we sum it up with Luke Skywalker and Yoda?
There it is.
Sure. Do that. Just do that.
So how often do you come across something that you feel is tough to navigate, or do you ever have to call on somebody to help you coach it, to be the right? Do coaches have coaches?
Always.
Love that. Okay.
Number one. Number two, there is a difference between coaching and consulting.
Okay. Do consultants have consultants? I
yeah,
guess
they do. Every coaching consultant has somebody they're going to have to reference, right? Because again, we don't know what we don't know. It's all about perspective, right?
Uh-huh.
And I'm not going to sit here and give you bad advice about something that I know you need when I can go get it from somebody that's better at that.
And then relay
it back, or get
me,
or get
right,
into have you reach out or whatever it may be. I'm not the thing.
Says a dentist has a dentist.
Yes, exactly.
That's my wife.
She's
smart.
She's the head turner.
Oh man,
he came up with that joke actually.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah. I mean, so you have a consultant that you go to, or multiple?
I have several people that if somebody needs this done with their marketing, or they need that done with their marketing, or they need this done with their marketing, we will go to a done for you marketing agency or whatever it may be, and they will take care of that part.
Mm-hmm.
That's not my job. My job is to go, here's the plays, let's go run them.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm the Sherpa. I don't move your legs for you.
Well, what should a business owner look for, questions they should ask when working with a consultant? Because not every consultant's the same. Some do a lot more. Some are business consultants. Some are leadership consultants. Some are sales consultants, HR consultants.
Everything.
I mean,
Right. There's a full gamut. So that's a good question.
I think the biggest question.
Let's ask the consultant.
I think the biggest question that you have to ask a consultant, if you're seeking them out and you're looking for that, is find somebody that's going to mesh well with you. Like, get a sense for them, of who they are, like how they work, how they communicate. Communication is the biggest thing.
So, I think a bad step, and this is just coming from the producer over here. A bad step is to say, well, let me see your record.
Yeah.
Because some of the best consultants have been fired and said, you know what, I can do this better and help people get better.
Exactly.
Some of the best consultants never maybe even worked for anybody. Right. So what's your history? Well, maybe you don't have one, but you know what the hell you're talking about.
Right.
Which in my mind, I always approach, if I were to go to a consultant and I were to, I guess, quote unquote, vet a consultant.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Like, you're vetting a consultant.
Yeah.
I don't care about the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care.
Right.
Like the very first consultant, when my wife and I started our business, the very first consultant to come up to me and try to poach me or get me to sign in with them, he was like, oh yeah, we can increase, you're doing $1 million. I can give you an extra 10%. And I don't care about that 10%. What is that going to get me? That's not going to make my right. Yeah. It's not going to make my gross profit margin bring me more money. I may actually lose money because of that extra $100,000.
Yeah.
Exactly. We talked about that before in the
Right.
green room about scaling, and like, you're like, you hit a ceiling. Yeah. Then you need to start talking to tax and legal and this and that. And like, at what point do I need to start moving in a different, scale? So you don't know if something's going to have a bad effect on you just because they promise you the world. Number one. Number two, I always ask people, it doesn't matter what I think you can do. What do you want to do? Do you want to stay local? Do you want to stay national?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, right? I want to get you the results that you want to do, that you think is successful, not what I think is successful.
So let's say I were to be somebody that owns a business that cleans up poop, and I want to stop working, and I want my business to just run itself.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to go fishing a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not me, this guy.
When I say
I mean this guy, not me, this guy, somebody I know.
Friend of mine.
He owns a restoration company.
Friend of mine.
Right? And he wants to do a lot more fishing. Would you walk in to say, hey, I could do this, by March, you're going to be on your own, and you're going to be off fishing and you have no problem? Like, can you make promises just based on walking in and somebody saying just off the interview, or do you have to like sit down for a week or two? You know what I mean? Like, do you have to like sit down for like an hour? Is it an hour interview? Is it reviewing for a day?
Carrie says she'll fire you anytime you're ready.
Come on, let's do it, Care.
Yeah.
What is the onboarding process to know that you are able to fulfill said owner's fantasies?
It's all about the gap. It's where you are now and where do you want to go? It's all about that gap.
Okay, that's the gap we were talking
Yeah.
about.
Sorry.
My bad. Okay, go
I
ahead.
understand where you're going.
Go ahead.
We're going in a different way. It's all about what we call the gap, right? Where you are right now, where you want to go. Like, how big is that gap? Let's call it percentage wise, right? Is it 10 times what you want? Is it 100 times? Are you at $100,000 right now and you want to be at $1 million, or do you want to be at 10 million?
Annual production, the gap.
There you go.
You can use that right here.
Hey. Well, listen, that doesn't matter because that's not the gap he's talking about.
That's not the gap I'm talking about.
Yeah. So listen to the professional.
A good consultant should have acronyms all the time.
I got plenty of them. Believe me.
Yeah,
That entire
yeah,
book,
yeah,
this entire book
yeah,
is an acronym, by the way.
Oh, perfect. I need a copy. We're gonna yeah. Okay.
So I need to know what that is. First of all, I'm not going to promise anything until I understand, number one, what you're looking to do. Two, if we're even going to work good together. You know, if I'm taking you up Mount Everest and you're like, no, I need to take a break, you're going to die. You know, like you need to listen.
Are you conditioned by the time you get to base camp?
Right.
Are you
Like,
conditioned to go? Or
where are you even at?
Right. Are you 5 pounds short of a circle and you can't get up?
For most,
Sorry.
it's fine. For most of,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's bad on my part. Okay, continue on.
My gosh. So what I usually do is it takes about 3 months to go through the process. And then after that 3 months, it could be shorter, it could be longer, whatever. But in general, 3 months. Then after that, we talk about going fishing.
Okay.
Okay. So
Yep.
what I'm going to do is for your friend, right? For that guy, what I want to do, what you're talking about is duplication. You're talking about stepping away, right? Leadership in my mind is all about duplication. We've all been in businesses. We've all been in places where they're afraid to be replaced. True leaders.
Nobody can do it as good as I can.
Right. Or they're like, no, you stay down there. I'm not going to give you all my secrets. True leaders want to be duplicated so they can step away.
Right.
You need, and the 4 things that I teach or I talk about and I try to work on is duplicating your mindset. That's the first thing we talk about. So we're going to duplicate your mindset through your entire organization. The next is your activities, right? What are you doing? What are you doing to produce? Right. Processes and everything.
Create processes.
Whatever it may be, right? It's going to be how many calls, how many this, what are you doing to be successful, right? What is the action? The next thing is going to be your skills. You're not all going to be the best at delivering the same line, but how do you get good at closing business? Whatever the skills might be, right? Can I duplicate that as best as possible? And the last thing is duplicating creativity. How can I problem solve? How can I find new business? How can I?
Oh, I like that.
Do things outside the box, right? That my leader would go, okay, yeah, that's a good idea, or that fits our model, that whatever.
Because a lot of companies, I feel, create that sales process,
right? And
that sales process never includes creativity.
It doesn't. It's follow this system to a T. Don't deviate. Well, the same thing that got you a good leader, you have to duplicate that. Right? If you want to be replaced, you have to replace the creativity. You have to replace the mindset.
Creativity.
You have to replace all that stuff, or you're not going to be able to go fishing.
This right here is creativity,
right?
To a T.
I was like, that's genius.
I mean,
for those people out there listening to the radio, he's pointing to Rudy, the Restoration 1 elf.
I am pointing too.
Just waiting for the little. I'm waiting for
I'm
the.
just pointing at it, and anybody that sees me sees that I'm pointing at it. But truly, like Christine's creativity to come up with Rudy the elf, and for us to spread it, everybody's tagging us in our business, right? Like it's such a great marketing, way of doing things that it just. We don't want to squash the creativity.
So many people want to duplicate numbers.
Right.
Numbers aren't things. Numbers aren't people. Right? You got to duplicate all those other things. Duplicate the process, duplicate the people, duplicate the creativity, duplicate. That's the mindset.
It's so much more than just the numbers.
Carrie says we've started to train our employees to teach the guys under them to do what they do. You can't move up or out until you can be replaced.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
Hey, you're welcome. I didn't want to say that. I wanted somebody else to say that, but yeah, we're doing that.
Yeah,
we're doing that.
Golf clap.
So that's a conversation for out there.
Come on.
Well, I don't. Animals can be trained. Infants can be trained.
Correct.
I've been training my children right now.
I think employees can be encouraged.
Yes.
Also trained.
I don't know about that. That's why I say it's probably a conversation for off the air.
I think they can. They can be encouraged, I agree, to be trained. You can't, but they're still being trained. How do they learn something? How do they learn it? They're trained to
They
do
educate
it.
themselves.
They're trained to do it.
I mean, where does that? That's just me.
Oh, you're right. Semantics.
Yeah.
That's
why I say it's probably but you pulled it out of me.
Yeah. Well, we're moving on. Our employees are required to make sure that somebody that is underneath them knows what they do, right? So they're not allowed to move on to a higher position without knowing that there are people below them and that those people below them can do their job once they step out.
They're capable.
Right? Like it's almost similar. We like to look at it, and in my mind, I think of it as a firefighting mentality or structure. A lot of people look at it as a military structure, right? But in my mind, they're very similar, right? Like firefighting, police, and military are very similar in the sense that you have to be trained to a certain level to succeed,
correct,
and move on. And not only that, but there needs to be somebody below you to step into your space. Otherwise, you're not moving on until you're ready to move on, right? Like you all boxes are checked. Yeah. So how do you explain to somebody that? Do you have to do that, or do you more focus just on the marketing aspect of it? Or, like, how do you make sure that people are ready to progress?
Well, first of all, different leaders are looking for different things, right? Mm-hmm. And I say leaders is basically the client, essentially.
Right.
Let's put it that way.
Most people coming to you are owners or management, high management.
Something like that, yeah.
Right. Okay.
Some of them are they have all D players and they want to get rid of them and bring up and hire new ones because they don't know how to hire, right? They don't know what they're looking for. Some of them have B's and C's and they don't know how to get them to A's. Some of them have great sales teams already, and they just are burnt out because they're too involved. They don't have anyone that's stepping up. So it all really depends on what they're looking for.
Totally.
It all really depends on what they're looking for. But basically what my job is to get rid of all the weeds, plant new seeds, right? Get those to grow, get new seeds from those, new crop, so that leader at some point can step away, go enjoy the beach, do other things, whatever it may be. Go fishing.
Right. Go fishing.
Whatever it may be, right? And that all comes down to an interview process of like, really, what is your end all goal? Like the first 3 months, we're going to get you to the point where like your business and your teams are where they need to be. Then is like the next 9 months, do you want to step away or not?
So you come in, you do effective leadership consulting.
Mm-hmm.
It works great for 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
And then it works so good, we stop doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Then what? There's that job security. Now I got to call you back and spend more money for consulting to do it again.
Yeah. No.
Well, hell yeah. In my mind, if I can't keep it up, then you got to tell me how do I rinse and repeat?
Yeah, that's really what it comes down to, because really that shouldn't happen. And it really hasn't happened because you're duplicating everything. And those people, and most of the organizations I work with are all 1099, right? Most of them.
Mm-hmm.
So they kind of have the life of their own. They don't need to worry. They're not bound by, certain things. So they go off and they do their own stuff once they become leaders themselves.
Absolutely.
Then the culture is taking over. And that's what the whole thing of 9 to 12 months is. The culture starts becoming bigger than the actual original leader is.
I.e., like, hey, I just started the snowball down the hill. Now the snowball's running.
Right.
I can't even keep up with the speed of the snowball.
Right.
Fine, I'm just going to stop and let that sucker roll.
Right. And if that snowball is getting away from you, right, then
I might be okay with that.
and it's getting and it's good or bad, right? But if you're talking about something where it's not working, right, and it's getting to be negative or whatever, it's not going in the right direction. Okay, that's when you need to bring somebody back in and go, okay, now we need to refocus that mindset. You need to step back into the business. You need to start bringing new implementing new projects, implementing new whatever it may be, tactics, some strategy, and it's not necessarily that you're going to change everything.
Right.
What it is like Tony Robbins says, it's kind of like changing their state, like slapping them. Like you just need something to trigger that. There needs to be something in their brain that goes, oh, there's something new. Let's shift the mindset. Let's shift all the duplication around
I pointed the snowball straight down the hill. It started going left. I came up and gave it
a course correct.
One whack, and now it's back on course, right? Like that's literally it's heading right back.
Exactly
the direction I wanted.
Right, and you're not going to sit here and tell everyone, well, you guys have been, a bunch of monkeys.
Sucky.
Yeah,
we're still working our way down the hill.
You're going to come in and say, hey, I had this great idea. I want to implement this. This is what we're going to do. Let me show you how it's done. Let me show you the mindset. This is why I'm doing it. Blah 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 blah. And you're going to not slowly, but you're going to be able to get that back because they're already trained with the same mindset and everything like that. All I need to do is just look at this new shiny object.
Yeah, different new target.
Yeah, whatever you want to call it.
Right. Okay.
So it's just a new something new that gets them back on track.
So, again, I got a buddy. He runs a restoration company. They clean up poop. He happens to work with his wife.
Poor guy.
They run the company together.
Poor wife.
That too?
Yeah.
Depends on which one, right?
No, it's really poor wife. Let's call
buddy.
Let's call it out. It's poor wife. Are you a marriage counselor?
I've worked with my wife before. Yeah.
I'm just asking.
That's interesting. Because,
how often do you have to, or a partnership counsel? Like, how often do you have to deal with,
It's an interesting question. And
joint partnership.
Yes, I have dealt with this with it. So I had a guy that came to me, who did what he do? Oh, home inspections, and he worked with his wife, and he goes, "This is happening in my relationship. It's kind of going south. This, that. There's not the romance, the whatever. All that stuff.
Don't want to know that.
Whatever it may be, right? I'm not talking about like that. I'm talking about the quiet times alone, spending time together, wanting to be around each other.
He's like, I'm too busy.
They're both like, they see each other 24 hours a day, right? But they have employees. And I go, here's what you need to do. You need to bring her stuff at work to let her know she's more important than everyone else. You need to make sure that she understands that, like, even though you're together all the time, that you're still more important than the employees and all of this stuff.
And the actual job.
And the actual job. The actual
you are
work.
a marriage counselor.
No.
You just counseled marriage in that sense. Like
I'm talking about work.
But you're literally telling them what to do to like that's what I'm saying is
that's a leader.
Yeah, you need to be able to, if you're in a relationship and you're both in a business, the one thing you have to do is keep it separate. And it doesn't matter. Everyone thinks it's separate is at work and then at home and it's separate between church and state. No, the way that you deal with each other compared to everyone else. Listen, everyone knows you're married. It's not a secret.
That's interesting.
Who cares? They don't care. They don't care. What they care about is, are you fighting in the office or are you not? That's all they care about. That is all they care about. Are you fighting? Are you yelling? Are they have to hear your drama? Are you on the cell phone driving down, trying to train somebody and you're having a fight on there, or are you not? That's all they care about. So if you're not fighting and you're treating each other with respect and you're kind of letting each other know that in the workplace. Everyone knows you're married. It's not
Who cares? Well, wait, what happens when you get home? Can I disrespect the hell?
I mean, that's your own call. I'm talking about the workplace.
I'm just asking.
So
for
I understand. His friend's got a lot of problems.
He runs a company that cleans up shit.
So I mean, that's from my experience in helping a couple guys. That's really what it comes down to when you're in that relationship and you're working together and you're co-owners, is that there has to be, because like I said, employees don't give a crap. They just don't care. They know that you're married. They know that you run the thing together. They want to make sure they want to make sure that they're okay, that there's not stress at work. You guys do your own stuff. And as far as that, from what I've found, that spouse, if you let them know that they're still more important than the business and the employees, it's all that matters. From what
you've come to realize.
Yes.
Do you find that dealing with partners in a business that are unrelated is similar to dealing with spouses, or is it a whole different ballgame?
It depends. It depends on if it's just one or two partners, like 3 partners, whatever, and they're all just they're not entities, they're not investment groups, they're not, it's not something
right.
like
They're all
like
personals.
Yeah, they're all personals, right? Then it's not that big a deal. It's like a marriage counseling to a certain extent. It's just right.
That's what I was wondering.
It is. It's also the biggest part about it is, do you have distinct boundaries in your business roles? Right.
Got it.
Because and do you respect those?
Mm-hmm.
If you don't, and that goes back to the spouses too. Like if you don't, you're going to be butting in and questioning each other. And I've had partners where I'm like, listen, John, you're not in charge of sales. You're in charge of production and the operations and right product stuff. This is going to help with your actual sales. Now, my question to you, John, is what are you going to be able to handle the influx? Let's talk about that discussion.
So flipping it on them. Just essentially
keep you in your lane.
So you
right.
A consultant comes in with your buddy who owns a restoration company, cleans up poop.
Yep.
When do I start to see results?
Ooh, that's a great question. What is
yeah. How do I know you're working?
Yeah.
When do I see results?
And I don't think it's industry specific. I don't think it's specific to a poop cleaner upper industry, but in general, should I, I know the answer to this one, but should I expect results after the first week?
I've had some.
Awesome.
Like,
and I'm sure you're awesome,
but it all depends.
Awesome.
No, but it also depends. Like I said, it also depends on the industry. You're talking
right.
Insurance, real estate, things of that nature, where you can really go after it, and you're in charge of your destiny for the most part. It's a different beast than somebody else that's in manufacturing or something like that. Like,
oh, sure.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say within the first month, you're going to see definitely results in production of leads and production of.
Now as a leadership consultant, do you come in and you sit, you talk with Joe and Carrie?
No, the people that have the poop cleanup.
the poop cleanup. And well, it's Josephine. Okay.
I like that.
And Carlos.
Like Carrie would. Right?
Josephine and Carlos.
Kerry.
And Carlos.
Yeah. Anywho, do you come in as a consultant and go, there's your leader right there. That employee number 2.
Yes.
That's your leader.
Ooh. Yes.
You can spot people out.
Yeah. So what we do is we sit down with everyone and we decide who's going to, we kind of evaluate them, whatever. We're just going to go through the same process that I did with the client and go, where do you want to be? It's kind of like an interview. We're not getting fired or anything like that. We just want to see where it's going because we're trying to figure out how to best support you. By the way, I believe that crap runs uphill unequivocally, right? If you're a leader, you don't put it downhill. Like, it's not your job is to support. Your job is to give the right environment, whatever it may be, all that stuff. It doesn't go downhill. It always goes uphill. And I come in and say, okay, hey, who do you have performing? Who are your A's? Who are your B's? What's going on? What are their traits? Like, let's go over this stuff. And then I go, all right, we're going to take, John, Scott, and, Bob and
Sally. We got to add a few.
Sally.
Let's be.
And we're going to start pushing them towards this, nudging them towards the leadership way and see how they react. Right.
See who does what.
See who does.
You may have somebody that really grabs a hold of those new responsibilities.
Right.
Yeah, I want this.
Okay. However, in the trades, you see this all the time. I'm 53 years old. I ran my own crew back in the 90s.
Oh God, we talked about this like
Right.
so many times.
And I'm a crotchety old guy, and I know exactly how this is done. I just took a couple of bad bounces when the economy went south, and that's why I'm working for Triple. This is the way you do it. And you know what I'm saying? And it doesn't matter.
I know
all these young kids are going, well, he knows he's a crotchety old guy. What happens then?
I've had people actually get rid of them. And discussion.
In our mind, that's it.
It doesn't matter. Like
if they're not going to do it our way, in our mind, that's it. You're over. If it's not our way, it's the highway, right? What if it's not? Yeah.
Yeah, and to add to that, you got to be flexible as a leader, and you got to be able to say, like, I had insurance. I said I had my numbers, right, and I'd say, what is your number? What do you need to do? The number in Springfield's a lot different than the number in Chicagoland, right?
Totally.
What is your number? What is your number? What is your number? Okay, great. I got 5 guys. Now I need 6. Cool. Let me go find those 2 other people.
Right.
Or, you know what I mean? Whatever it may be.
Yeah, 'cause 5 and 2 is
Yeah, I'm horrible with math today, but that's okay. I realize that too. I'm like, oh.
If you're looking to hire,
I was registering that and going,
Right.
Go to scalable.
what's your contact number again?
Yeah.
ScalableLeadership.com.
This is Sam the Hammer.
So
I'm sorry. I've known Sam
No.
for years and years and years and years. He's good at what he does. But
I love what you're saying. And
Yeah.
the fact that like you can actually say, no, you're right. This guy may know and have been in the industry, but hey, dude, the industry's changed. Welcome to the new industry, right?
Yeah,
like
but
we're doing new things that
let's
are
say-
better and faster and more efficient.
let's say it's also, man, no, he is my leader, or I thought.
right. That's happened.
And you've come in and go, oh, this guy ain't your leader,
Right.
right?
That's not the boss.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Who's the boss?
So I've come in and I'm like young in my I'm a young owner, perhaps, let's say that, or new
Profession.
to the profession. And I got this guy with all this experience,
Right.
and I got it, because I don't have to worry about him. But you come in, you're like, you need to worry about him.
Well,
Do you do that too, or
Well, yeah, because again, in the interview process, it is, what do you want as a client? What is your vision?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? What system are you going to be putting that quarterback in? And does that quarterback fit? If he doesn't, there's other teams out there.
There's other quarterbacks.
There's other quarterbacks out there. Exactly.
Right? That might fit
My
Gameplay.
system, my
Right.
vision, end of discussion. You know what I mean? And I've had leaders before, I've had clients actually sit down with some people and go, you know what? We're not the right system for you. We're not the right company for you. We're going in a new direction. However, I've talked to a couple guys, blah, blah, blah.
other
Competitors. Like literally just competitors.
Right.
And
Passing you off.
said, hey,
all right. So with
Yeah.
that said, too, and we've seen this, Joe, you've been in the insurance industry, you see this. In comes the consultant, down comes HR. Right? Oh man, you're the axe. Oh, they're bringing in the guy.
Uh-huh.
How do you work with those leaders, those business owners, to make sure that their guys and gals aren't coming in going, I'm going to get fired today? Because a lot of times that happens, right?
They feel that way?
Yeah.
Right. Well, I think that's just voicing their opinion, saying, hey, what's going on? Well, we're changing the way things are going. We're adjusting because this is a proven method, right? And it's, as you mentioned before, it is explaining exactly, hey, look, this is the proven method on how things are being done and being successfully done throughout our industry.
Mm-hmm.
And I just said it in 2 sentences.
It comes down to transparency, like
Right.
in your communication, I should say, right? It comes down to just being like, this is what's going on. We're not hiding anything. You get on board or you don't. We respect either way. Not a problem, right?
Again,
We're going to, do you want more money? We're going to try and teach you how to make more money. You know what I mean?
This is literally like 2 seconds. You just said that. It wasn't even like in my mind.
We're grown-ups. Like,
it's
But it
that
doesn't
simple.
happen. Yeah, it's that simple, but it doesn't happen.
yeah.
People don't say it,
Right.
but they, I think also not everybody hears it.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
It might be said, but it's not heard.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? Like, so, no, I agree. I mean, yeah, complete transparency. Say it. Here's the new process. Here's what we're doing. This is it.
At the end of the day, at the end of the day, you have to put it in their hands. Listen, you have a choice to show up or not.
Love that.
You have a choice to go to work. You have the choice to eat this morning. You have a choice. Do you choose to come to work? And these are the rules of the game.
Whether they're new rules, old
or
rules,
it doesn't matter.
Whatever it may be.
If the dress code changes at work, does everyone get up in a tizzy and leave? No. They accept it,
they
right?
Buy their khakis and they put their khakis on and they come into work.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
There's when they change the way that you take credit card processes, and you have to change certain things, or you have to add on a new thing on the sale,
software,
right? Whatever it may be. Does everyone leave? No, they don't, right? Because they understand that's the business. You have a choice to stay or to go. And if you are the client and you are in HR or you are whatever, this is what we're doing. This is what the owner, this is what the team lead is doing. You have that choice.
You're on board or you're not on board.
Yeah, you're either on board or you're not on board. And if you're on board, we will support you. We will go to battle with you. We will teach you everything we need to teach you. And if you're not, then we wish you the best. And if we can help you, we will.
I love that.
We're grown-ups, and I think that people, when they're not treated like a grown-up and everything's hidden and kind of like talked around and kind of the issues are skirted, that's when the animosity comes out and people just kind of become coy and negative and stuff. I mean, what was that movie?
Pinocchio.
No, that's not. No.
Pinocchio.
No?
I'm a real boy.
I mean, he was a woodworker.
Elf.
He was in the trade.
Moneyball, where he's just like, where Brad Pitt's just like,
I was way off.
Yeah, you are.
So close. So close.
But he's basically like, you just go up to and tell them they're professionals. Like, you know what I mean? They're adults. Like,
here's what it is.
You're being traded.
Yeah.
Go talk to Bob. Boom, done.
It is. Interesting.
So
Peanut gallery?
Yeah. What does a good consultant cost? Because everything today costs are rising. We're trying to hit a bottom line. I'm gonna bring Sam the Hammer in, and is this costing me $800,000? You know what I'm saying?
By the time it's done,
I love that you're have you always been nicknamed Sam the Hammer?
Sam the Hammer.
That's not even my name actually. I took my wife's name.
Yeah.
So you basically married into a stage name?
Yes.
Yeah.
Impressive.
Right?
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. That makes you more impressive, dude. I love
you understand
that.
my Sam? And now all the consultants, Sam, are going to be like, well, you get what you pay for.
No, listen.
You know what I mean?
And
listen.
that's a great question because I mean, consultants can be really expensive, and if I need a consultant, that kind of infers that I'm a struggling business a bit. And if I'm a struggling business, that means I don't have probably the overhead.
At the end of the day, it comes down to the question of you as the client, the potential client.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see the value? What I mean by value is literally dollars and cents. Do you see the expense or the cost, the investment, whatever you want to call it, versus what I think and you think together cumulatively can get an ROI on, right? If you're sitting here and I go, okay, it's going to be $5,000 a month for me to go through your entire system for 3 months, blah, 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 right? And then after that, we'll talk about scaling and adding on marketing and all that stuff. Do we think together that we can do more than $5,000? Then yes, that's all that matters. It doesn't. There's people that charge $100,000 a year. There's people that charge $10 a month. It doesn't matter. It's all about ROI, and it's all about, can you, first of all, as a consultant, can you paint that vision, or can you not? So do you suck at selling or not?
Yeah. Truly, are you a good salesperson as a consultant to be able to show them that, hey, no, I am worth it.
Right.
Right.
But in my next job, I'll be teaching consultants how to sell consulting.
In the next book I write.
Show your book again. What it's out there, and how do people get that?
Yeah.
So you can go on the Facebook group, scalableleadershipgroup.com, or it's on Facebook, just Scalable Leadership, or just look me up on Facebook and I'll get you a digital copy. Those are all just on demand by Amazon publishing. So
Perfect.
yeah, as far as pricing goes, right now I've actually been doing a deal for Black Friday and just the end of the year, just getting people ready. I've done the first 3 months at 90% off. So it's a phenomenal deal. And the reason why is because I'm like, listen, let me get you the track record, right? Let me prove to you. And then for the rest of the year, you'll pay full freight, and I'll show you even more that we can do by you getting out. And that's when I start getting into, okay, you want to go fishing, but you don't want this to be your
my buddy wants to.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Your buddy.
My buddy wants to go.
Your buddy wants to go fishing. Your buddy, your pal,
yeah.
wants to go fishing.
Yeah, he wants to.
Right. But he also wants to have another tranche, another, honey hole some way that he's making passive income. Let's bring in somebody else. Let's fully automate your marketing so that you're not, there's different things that we do to start scaling you up to even more, depending on whatever business it is. Right.
Totally.
So that's when we start getting into the nitty gritty and the real fun stuff of really putting the jet fuel on the back of what we've already built, the foundation. Because the first 3 months are the foundation. The first month we're going to get into mindset. The next month we're going to get into that skills and activity, and then the last month we're getting into creativity. And that's when you start really finding and getting that duplicatability of your leadership.
You're honing in and working on the hopper, the conveyor belt,
exactly.
The machine, right? You're doing that all through the first 3 months, and then hopefully after that, it's literally the machine is off and running, and you're just minor tweaks, tuning the belt to make sure the belt's running at the perfect speed,
exactly.
So that
and adding new stuff on. Yeah,
it makes him laugh.
I love it
every time he giggles, and he giggles every time.
Because I see it.
Like a little,
I always just say, picture Dr. Seuss, right? A Dr. Seuss illustration.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's like, and then out pops the widget, right? Like or Starbelly Sneetch. I don't know if you read that book, but that's a Dr. Seuss one. You should read it. Starbelly Sneetches, but
yeah.
Okay, I have one more question because we're dialing down on time.
Blue.
How often, or no, not how often. That's better. Don't name them. Just tell a really good story of somebody you had to get rid of and why.
All right.
You got any good ones, juicy ones? Come on. I got some great juicy stories of cleaning. I mean, my buddy has some great juicy stories of cleaning up shit. I'm sure you got some good juicy stories. You're like, I'm just not for you.
Yeah, I had a guy that really wanted to he wanted to fight me on every single thing of a script, like every single like on a sales script. He wanted to fight me about everything, right? Like
my name is Joe. No.
like he wanted listen. He wanted to fight me on every single thing, right? And I asked him, I go, why do you keep doing it the way you've been doing it, right? Like, why don't you embrace like something that,
a little different.
That's working. Right. This has been proven by the number 1 person in the entire company, right? Why are you fighting me? He goes, because I want to do something that I know that works. I go, but it's not working.
Okay.
Like, it's not working.
And did he still fight you?
Yes, he fought me. He literally fought me, and he left 2 days later.
As a client.
Yes.
Yeah. You're and see, like, those are the kind of people you're just like, nah, we're good. I'm good. I'm good.
But what are you going to do with that? Listen, there's so many, bumper stickers for this. I was about ready to pull one out.
Great oldies. Yeah, go ahead. All right. So give us your contact one more time. So that way.
So go to aligned4coaching.com and you can schedule a call right there. And then, or even write me a note there. That's fine too. And then the other thing is scalableleadershipgroup.com. That'll go right to the Facebook group. If not, you can just hit me up on Facebook at Samuel Hammer.
Perfect. Samuel Hammer. I love that. Even though there's a surfer out there, you should look him up. He was Sam Hammer.
Totally rad.
You totally rad. Rad dude. He was born in New Jersey. I read
You
all
did
about him, and I
Google.
go,
Holy
oh,
crap.
this is not the guy.
That's not the guy.
This
Well,
is not my
listen,
guess.
Listen, that is it for this episode of In the Know with Steph and Joe. No Steph, all Joe today.
Yeah.
And Sam Hammer, appreciate you being here. Thanks for taking some time out of your busy Friday.
Thanks for having me on.
hang
Yeah.
with us.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
And you're probably going to see Sam around a little bit more on some different shows and probably his own. We're excited to try to start working with him at the 216 studios. So listen, everybody, we got to run. Be good to one another, please. Drive carefully. Just take it nice and easy. Enjoy the weekend.
Did you know that diarrhea is hereditary?
No.
It runs in the genes.
Hey!
See you guys. Have a good one.